video is on how to file ITR 4. ITR 4 return is required to be filed by the resident individuals, HUFs or partnership firms whose total income for assessment year 23-24 includes business income under section 44AD or 44AE. You may also use ITR 4 to report income from profession calculated under section 44ADA, salary or pension income, income from one house property. However, the form cannot be used to report the brought forward losses or losses to be carried forward under this head, income from other sources excluding winning from lottery and income from horse races can be reported in ITR 4. Form ITR 4 cannot be used by those individuals, HUFs or partnership firm who are having total income from salary, house property or other sources above rupees 50 lakhs, who are having income from capital gains. The form cannot be used by an individual who is either a director in a company or has invested in unlisted equity shares, whose books of accounts are required to be audited under the Income Tax Act, or by a non-resident individual. You should collect the following documents before starting to file your income tax return. You should have PAN and Aadhaar number. Collect the copies of your Form 16 and Form 16A. Download AIS and Form 26AS. Also gather the proof of saving investments or payments, a copy of bank account statement and the loan account statement, and also the financial particulars of your business, that is the closing debtors, creditors, bank and cash balance. There are two modes of filing ITR, the online method on the e-filing portal or by downloading the offline utility from the download section of the e-filing portal. In this video, we will cover filing of ITR 4 in online mode. In order to file this ITR, you should be a registered user on the e-filing portal with a valid user ID and password, and the status of your PAN should be active. Let us now see step by step how do we file ITR 4 in online mode. You're required to first go to the e-filing portal homepage and click on login. On the login screen, you're required to enter your user ID and password. Post login, on your dashboard, you can click on e-file, go to income tax returns and then click on file income tax return. Here you're required to select the relevant assessment year from the drop-down menu and the mode of filing is online and then click on continue. If you've already saved a draft of income tax return which is pending for submission, you can continue with the same draft. Else, you can click on start new filing. Here you're required to select the status applicable to you. You may choose whether you are an individual, Hindu Undivided Family or others and then click on continue button. Now you're required to select the ITR form from the drop-down menu. However, if you do not know which ITR form is applicable to you, you can click on Proceed button on the left-hand side for wizard-based return selection. In the wizard-based return selection, you would be provided with some of the qualifying conditions. You can go through the conditions and select the correct ITR form here as per the given conditions. Having chosen the ITR, now you can click on Proceed with ITR 4. You may go through, collect and check the relevant documents applicable and then click on Let's Get Started. You would be required to answer whether you are filing the income tax return for any of the following reasons. Kindly go through the reasons, select the right reason and then click on Continue button. On the return summary page, there are 6 tabs. You are required to confirm each tab. First of all, click on Personal Information tab. Personal Information tab will have 4 parts: Profile, Contact Details, Filing section and Bank Details. You can check the Profile section. You can only edit the other parts of personal information if required. You're now required to select the nature of employment from the drop-down menu. In the Filing section, please note that filed under section 139 subsection 1 will be auto-selected. You're also required to answer, have you ever opted for the new tax regime under section 115 BAC in earlier years? Select yes if you had opted for the new tax regime in the earlier years, else select no. Please note that if you select yes, then you're required to choose the assessment year and date of filing Form 10IE and enter the acknowledgement number. Please note that the question whether you had ever opted for the new tax regime earlier is to be answered from the perspective of returns filed with business income. Select the relevant answer by ignoring the contents of the non-business income returns filed, if any, in between assessment years. If you had opted for the new tax regime in the latest business return, you will continue to be under the new tax regime unless opted out through filing Form 10IE for the current assessment year. If you wish to opt new tax regime now, you will have to select opting in now. But if you had ever opted earlier, you are required to select continue to opt radio button in the filing section under personal information tab. For opting in now, enter the acknowledgement number and date of filing Form 10IE, as Form 10IE is mandatory to be filed before filing income tax return if the person is having business income and opting for new tax regime for the first time. In case you had earlier opted for the new tax regime and thereafter you had opted out of the new tax regime, select yes in have you ever opted out of new tax regime, else select no. If you select yes, then you are required to provide the assessment year and the date of filing Form 10IE and its acknowledgement number. If you have not opted for the new tax regime in earlier years, select no and select the opting in now option for current year if you want to opt in for the new tax regime, else select not opting. If you opt for the new tax regime now, you will see a pop-up that you would not be eligible for some deductions and exemptions. Click on Proceed. Enter the acknowledgement number and date of filing Form 10IE, as it is a prerequisite to opt for new tax regime for the person having business income. In the bank details section, you are required to enter the bank details, pre-validate the bank details, and select at least one bank account for refund. Personal information tab is now confirmed. You are now required to provide confirmation for gross total income tab. Here you can verify the income details which are pre-filled. You may edit the pre-filled information as per the documents available with you. You can click on Edit button to add the details of the salary income. In case you wish to claim the benefit under Section 89A, you can click on Add button. To report income from house property, you can click on Add/Edit details to report the house property income. You can enter the details of income from house property and then click on Add button. To report income from other sources, click on Add details. Enter the details of income from other sources. To add details, click on Add. Now you reach income from business or profession. You can click on Add details to add income from business and profession. Income from business and profession will have three sections: business, profession, and goods carriage. You can click on business section to enter the presumptive business income. Click on profession section to enter the presumptive income from profession, and click on goods carriage section to enter the presumptive income from goods carriage business. After adding all the incomes, you are required to click on Confirm to verify income details. Gross total income tab is now confirmed. You are now required to provide confirmation to disclosures and exempt income. You can click on Add details to add financial particulars of your business. Please note that some of the particulars are marked with an asterisk. Furnishing information for these particulars are compulsory. Click on Add details to furnish information about gross receipts or turnover reported for GST, and click on Exempt income to provide details of exempt income. You may add the GST number and the annual value of outward supplies under GST. You are required to select the nature of exempt income, if any, and then provide the details. Then click on Add button. Verify the details and then click on Confirm to confirm the details of disclosures and exempt income. Disclosure and exempt income tab is now confirmed. You can now provide confirmation to total deductions. It is important to see a change in ITR 4 in the total deductions tab. With effect from assessment year 23-24, deduction under section 80CCH has been added. The entire amount contributed by the applicant and the central government to the Agniveer Corpus Fund is applicable for tax deduction under section 80CCH. The deduction is available if you have selected central government as the nature of employer. You can then add the eligible amount of deduction under section 80CCH as contribution to Agnipath scheme. You can verify and claim the deductions here by clicking on relevant deduction tile and then click on Confirm button. Total deductions tab is now confirmed. You are now required to provide confirmation to tax paid. You can verify your total taxes paid by way of TDS on salary, TDS on income other than salary, TCS, advanced tax, self-assessment tax, and then click on Confirm button. Tax paid tab is now confirmed. You can provide confirmation on total tax liability. Total tax liability will be computed by the system as per the income details already furnished by you. You can verify the tax liability details as per the computation of tax. Once the tax liability tab is confirmed, you can now click on Proceed button. If tax payment is required to be made, you can choose to pay now or pay later. It is advisable to pay now and pay the taxes using ePay tax service. To understand how to make tax payment using ePay tax service, you can refer to the video on ePay tax service. After tax payment, you can click on Schedule Tax Paid. You can verify the total taxes paid. Challan details will be auto-populated. You are required to verify the challan details. If no payment is required to be made, you can click on Preview Return. You can check and add your details and then click on Proceed to Preview. This is the preview of return. You can now click on Proceed to Validation. Once the validation is successful, you can click on Proceed to Verification. You can select the option through which you wish to verify your return and then click on Continue button. You can also choose to verify later. However, it is advisable to verify now. Post verification, you will receive a success message that you have successfully filed and verified your return. Filing Form ITR 4 is very easy. To know more, you can visit our website www.incometax.gov.in or contact our helpline numbers.